Welcome to another edition of Wrestling Goons Radio for Raw Reaction on May the 11th, 2015. The Authority is back, and we have a full panel to talk about it, one half at least. We have Mark, we have TJ, we have David, and we have Anthony here to take it all in with you. Mark, tell us about Danny coming home to the WWE Universe.
One half of the Authority is back on Monday Night Raw. Triple H says that he has to address what's been going on in their absence, and he cuts a small little promo about how he tells his kids whenever he returns that daddy's home, and he feels like the Authority are his children, so he needs to set the differences aside and get both Kane and Seth Rollins out. Seth's the first one to come out. As always, he is Triple H and Stephanie's little lapdog. So he comes out and says that they just need to take the old dog out back and put him out of his misery.
Wow.
And Kane kind of comes out and responds to that and says that he's older than Seth, but with age comes wisdom, and he still wants to choke the life out of Seth Rollins. So Triple H says that Kane's respected, but it's time that he gets on the same page with everyone else and does what's best for business. And he says that if Seth Rollins doesn't retain at Payback, then Kane might not be needed as the director of operations any longer. He says, but he understands that you sometimes just want to choke the life or punch Seth Rollins in the face after spending 5 minutes with him. So Seth needs to calm it down and put his ego aside and also do what's best for business, which leads into matches being set up for tonight between Kane's and Roman Reigns. That way Kane can show that he really is a part of the Authority and he can get on the same page. Rollins has to face Randy Orton. Then Jamie Noble comes in and tells Triple H that he knows that he's a big shot coming in and out with his limousine riding, and maybe or maybe not he saw the champ, Seth Rollins, handling business on Monday Night Raw from his big screen TV, but he needs to show the champ some respect, which leads into a bunch of short comments by Triple H and gets them booked into a match with Dean Ambrose.
Long opening segment. That pretty much is the story of the night. We're going to get into the main event as well. A long, pointless segment. They could have condensed a whole bunch of this. But I'm going to say that the Noble part was really funny. I'm glad they added that. But for the most part, this is the same promo we saw 1,000 times, except for it wasn't backstage. They did it in the ring this time. It wasn't some backstage promo. TJ, did you watch the opening segment, and what were your thoughts about Triple H returning?
I was actually glad with Triple H's return, and much like you, Anthony, the whole thing with Jamie Noble, this is actually getting entertaining. If anything, he's actually making these segments entertaining because, as we discussed last time, this whole back and forth with Kane and Rollins is really getting just. I don't want to say old because that would be a cliche, but it's far from fresh, and I just don't know what to say. I will give Seth credit though on his comment about Kane. That was actually pretty clever.
That was pushing the envelope. It felt like an old Yeller reference.
I was just thinking the whole exact old Yeller thing too.
Yeah.
Time to take the old dog out behind the woodshed, Johnny, and put him down.
All I can think is Travis going, "He's my dog, Ma. I'll do it."
No, Mama, Yellow was mine.
All right, David. Your thoughts after that long segment ended?
I kind of enjoyed Triple H coming back. We got a little bit more of we got the down to business Triple H, but then we got a little comical Triple H too that took some pretty good pops a little bit. He didn't fully get booed.
Well, hats off to the
So-
Cincinnati crowd for knowing their role. They knew when they needed
Yes.
to cheer. They knew when they needed to boo. They were really on their A game tonight.
Yeah, the crowd actually had a pretty decent night. Then it covered the promo there pretty perfectly. I agree with everyone else, kind of falls almost like wrong man to big slow to me. Just kind of tired of the Seth and Kane thing, and let's just put him in the ring and see what's what.
Well, I'm looking down at the rundown for a lot of the times on these matches tonight, and there's a lot of them that are around 5 minutes. This opening segment went a good 16, 17 minutes here.
Yes.
And just ran and ran, and I'm just so sick of these long opening segments. I want to watch a wrestling show. That's what I'm
give
tuning
us
in
some
to
action
watch.
up front.
Please. Mark, any thoughts on this opening segment?
I'm glad the Authority's back,
Kind of.
but we're missing the best part of the Authority.
Exactly.
So whenever Stephanie returns to TV, I'll be more happy.
I thought you were talking
I
about...
think every male will be more happy.
I thought you guys were talking about Shane. We're not talking about Shane? No?
Well, I mean, we can talk about Shane
Oh.
and Stephanie saying that she's trying to get him to come in. So that might be interesting angle.
Alright, so we'll move on from that and we'll move into the first match of the night. Mark, what do we have going on?
The first match of the night is Jamie Noble and Joey Mercury versus Dean Ambrose, the hometown man.
They got themselves into this with Jamie being funny and ended rather quickly. When typical J&J fashion where they're just clumsy and knock each other out and Dean knocks out Dirty Deans and roll credit. I got news for you. This is Dean's one win in his hometown. I'm glad they did that for him. They wound up making the whole night about Dean, actually.
Really?
But, yeah, this is Dean's moment because he's the fall guy come Sunday. I think we all know that already. So, David, your thoughts real quick on this handicap match?
Anytime you could put Dean Ambrose in the ring with two goof jobbers like J&J, it's just going to be sheer entertainment. The crowd ate it up. Their hometown boy got to put some over on the security boys that have screwed him in the past. It was entertaining. I didn't think it was going to be the most technical match. I didn't think we were going to see Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels type match. We all knew better than that, but good match. Fun, good way to start an actual match.
Served its purpose.
It really did.
Mark, your thoughts real quick?
J&J got a lot more offense than I actually had thought whenever I had first heard that they were going to be in a tag team match against Dean Ambrose, or a handicap match.
Yep.
I wasn't expecting Jamie and Joey to go out there and go balls to the wall, but they put it to them for a little bit.
Hey, Jamie Noble used to be a Ring of Honor heavyweight champion. Just thought everybody should know.
No, not Jamie Noble. James Gibson.
Touche, my friend, touche.
Mhm.
TJ, your thoughts on this handicap match?
Pretty much the same thing as Mark. I was glad they actually utilized and showed the fact, like, oh yeah, they're used as pretty much comic relief, but at their core, they're still talented wrestlers. You have a guy who has the fourth longest cruiserweight championship reign and a former two-time tag team champion in Joey Mercury. They can get it done in the ring. They're just past their prime, so to speak. But overall, a good win for Dean in his hometown. He needs this going into Payback.
Do y'all think, with spoiler alert, with the New Age Outlaws team and their return on Twitter, you think maybe we can get more tag matches with J&J Security without the need of defending the Authority just for them wrestling in a match?
Could you imagine J&J Security beating the Ascension?
Yeah, I can imagine.
Let's just leave them out of this for right now. We know how it goes when they get old school guys.
Oh, man. Hey, they're not old school, okay? Joey Mercury is the muscle of the Authority.
If that's the muscle, I hate to see the brain.
Oh, well, the brains of Jamie Noble, of course. That's
Exactly, and I don't think there's a full-size brain in the whole state of West Virginia, let alone Jamie Noble gets it.
all right, Mark. What do we got next?
Oh, God, that was harsh.
No offense to all of our listeners in West Virginia.
I'll take the heat from them.
Yeah, you can feel that heat when they come with pitchforks and torches.
I ain't
Exactly.
Frankenstein yet.
So
I
next up we have Dolph Ziggler versus King Barrett, and we have Sheamus down at ringside on commentary, and Barrett cuts a little promo telling all the people that they're commoners again. Kind of reminds you of every other King of the Ring, but before he ever even gets his robe and staff out of his hands, he tells the ref to ring the bell and gets hit with a super kick to start off the match.
Yeah, boy, they cannot make me care less about this feud every week, I think. And then every week, I care less than about this feud. So they continue to top themselves with making me hate it more and more. The highlight of this whole thing was seeing that Sheamus finally decided that his mohawk was indeed stupid. And he decided, hey, maybe I'll calm it down and look like an aristocrat. So that's kind of cool. Besides that, holy crap, can we just please get this over with? Not only that, can we please stop taking everything that gets Wayne Barrett over away from him? Can we give him his podium back? Can we give him his gavel back? For God's sakes, can we at least add Can God Save the King in his theme music? I mean, we took God Save the Queen out. We can put the word King in there. He is King Barrett now. That's my 2 cents worth. I guess they're building up to the Kiss My Arse Payback is gonna be the thing where Sheamus somehow gets incapacitated, I would guess, and Dolph Ziggler sticks his ass on his lips. That'll be what I guess is gonna happen. TJ, how do you think this match might go, and what did you think about the Raw match?
The Raw match was just a reminder of that thing Ziggler said a couple months ago on Twitter about how soon he's going to be gone. This was just a reminder that this great talent who's had way too many chances to shine pass him by just because he actually used his opinion and voice. When he's gone, WWE is going to get hit in a major way. They've done the same thing with Barrett. Sure, they've made him king of the ring and a 5-time Intercontinental Champion, but we all know he's well due at least one run as a world champion. But they can't see past merchandise of Cena or blah blah whatever. Let's just get these guys who are long overdue title runs and just give them a worthless feud. All in all, this was okay. It did well to feed the fire for Ziggler and Sheamus, and I guess showcase Barrett more. I don't know what to call it, man. It was just like...
It was predictable. I mean, from the moment you see Sheamus out there on commentary, you know how the match is going to end. You know it 1,000 times. And I'm sick and tired.
Looks weird without his old hair.
And I'm tired of wrestlers not having an IQ, okay? Wrestlers are supposed to be the smart, genius person who puts in hours and hours of studies on their practice and their... But whenever somebody hollers their name or their stand-up or their music hits, all of a sudden their brain just stops. And they just become infatuated with everything else around them but their opponent. I'm tired of that.
You have to remember, you said it yourself, those are wrestlers who are known for their in-ring psychology. These are forced entertainers.
You're right. That is a very good point. There is a talk. That's good. Mark, what's your thoughts on this?
My thoughts are, at least they're letting King Barrett get a victory. I mean, even though it was at a or at a distraction or whatnot, I'm ready for them to actually allow Barrett the reins and to go full out and actually start picking up momentum. I mean, he won your King of the Ring tournament. I mean, what the hell?
Well, let me ask you this. Does he beat Neville at Payback?
He should.
I think he should too.
I think he should get the Intercontinental title shot at Elimination Chamber, and I think he should win it.
I agree.
I think he should get the shot, but I don't think he should win it.
So we'll get into that because we're going to have that show on Saturday where we can go. It'll probably be the week after that when we get in the Elimination Chamber stuff.
When they'll actually start breaking down who's in it.
Yeah. We don't even know yet. We just know that they're gonna have the Intercontinental and apparently the tag title somehow too. That ought to be interesting.
That is a rumor I've heard too, that there may be a second Elimination Chamber match for the
That's
31st.
gonna be really, really weird if they do a tag team based.
So, David, your thoughts on Wayne Barrett here with Dolph Ziggler?
All hail the king. All hail the king. That's all I'm going to say. Barrett, I've been a Barrett supporter. I love that he always had some bad news. But I really want to see him get his little push. He's gotten the pushes before, and unfortunately, injury or returning Daniel Bryan's mess up his runs.
Or creative.
Or creative is enough to ruin anybody.
Creative, like I have it on direct word when Vince said the crowd is cheering him with the podium, and they're cheering him when they say, I've got some bad news. So let's stop it. Let's just not let him
let's
do
squash that right now before he gets too big. And
anytime they like something, let's not give it to him. I don't understand. Mark, move on.
Next up, we have Eric Rowan coming out with Luke Harper to face Fandango, who the announcers pretty much continued his burial and were placing bets on how quick Eric Rowan would have messed this match up and got the pinfall. And I can't remember if it was... I think Booker T and JBL were arguing about who got the right answer, but anyways, it was about 36 seconds.
David, I know you've been waiting a while on this build-up. I will let you have the floor, sir. Tell us how you feel about seeing Eric Rowan and Luke Harper together again.
It's been one of the most chilling feelings lately. Goosebumps seeing them walk out together. Obviously, we all probably knew that Fandango was getting boned. And 36 seconds later, there was 1, 2, 3, which led into a great setup for the both of them to get in there on Fandango with an Irish whip to the turnbuckle to where Harper whips in Rowan on top of him, who in turn whips Fandango into the tornado clothesline from Harper, which just knocked his friggin' boots off. He's still dancing in outer space somewhere. But it's great to see the family back together again.
They're not together yet. Now they're missing Papa.
We are missing a few pieces that will be put into place here soon.
I got a question, guys. What the hell happened to Fandango? What did he do?
That whole thing with the 30-day policy violation, we all knew it was going to lead to this. Anytime a superstar violates it and they have some type of heat for the next 2 weeks before their suspension goes into effect, they always either job, get squashed, or lose an important match that could skyrocket them to a title shot.
Wait, so Fandango has suspension coming up?
Yeah, he officially 2 days ago, the statement came out from WWE saying he did he failed the test and broke the 30-day policy thing.
Oh, well, that explains a lot.
That does explain a lot.
That explains a lot because we could not figure out why he would get jobs so quickly.
The only other reason I had between it is because his little twisty, girly, finger in the air dance was going over again.
But it's really not, though. The crowd is really dying down to Fandango. It's like only in a couple of cities where it's over.
Yeah, the only ones that really like it are the Chippendales loving girls.
TJ,
It was more over when it drew heat towards him instead of drawing fanfare.
yeah, I liked it better when it had all the pyro and the little dancer guy that came down in the middle of the ring. That was awesome.
That was too much, honestly, for me.
I loved it.
I just like the Summer Rae part of it. You know, let me look at her.
When he
And that
first
was it.
debuted,
I prefer the real part myself.
when he first debuted and he beat Chris Jericho, I thought he was serious. Like, I was like, this guy's gonna be the real deal.
And the next night after he beats Jericho, he turns into a chump.
Yeah, loser. TJ, your thoughts on Harper and Rowan squashing Fandango?
Well, we pretty much just discussed why.
Yeah.
But as far as Eric and Luke getting back together, it's like you said, the family's not all there. But then again, does the whole family need to come back together? Maybe it's time for us to see Eric and Luke by themselves. Maybe they'll be in that elimination chamber for the tag team titles.
I think they will be, but I think they're going to be part of the family still.
I think they will be in the tag team title match very quickly here, and they will be walking out with them, regardless of who they fought or who they wrestle.
We've said time and time again that Bray's character isn't serious without followers, and I think that they know that. So this has to be.
I think it's a slow lead in.
Yeah, like I think we're gonna get the big turn at Payback. Like Ryback's gonna be almost meeting Bray, like he's gonna have him be.
Lights go out,
and then
there's the boys.
Everybody's gonna attack.
Or that's when we get the bow turn.
The clothesline, then the lights go out, and he's laid out with the tornado clothesline.
Yep, that could happen. Or then, let's
Well,
not
we get
forget
the
the
bow.
Bodog. Let's not forget the Bodog.
Yeah. Well, other than that, the only thing I get from this is the first time they've ever really wasted a theme song that they made for somebody. Like, Rowan didn't have his theme for 4 months or whatever.
Yeah, they did let him use it though. He did come out to it this week.
Yeah, he came out, but it as much heat as people gave that theme, I actually did like it. It suited him.
Yeah, I liked his theme. I did.
It could have had a different title, because when I heard it was called Sheep Herder, I'm like, okay, just call it Innocence or something.
I actually kind of would like it if they took the mask gimmick and made it creepy. Like if they just made him into like some kind of weird guy that was like the time he went up to Renee and called her pretty and rubbed her hair. That would be cool. That would have been awesome if he would have been like the creeper guy. That would have been great.
Yeah, let's turn Eric
Michael
Rowan
Myers
into
mask pouncing out.
So what now, TJ?
Yeah, let's turn him into what Snitsky could have been, or that whole thing with Abyss and Lauren.
They just did Snitsky terrible. That was like Snitsky was the worst.
Snitsky could have been the perfect heel.
But his acting was so bad. Like when he go back and watch the baby segment again, when he's carrying the baby and he punts it. Like the punch gets a reaction, but all the way up to that, when he's talking to that baby, oh, it's awful. Oh, it's terrible acting.
That's what I get from it. And the fact that Rowan now has yet another finishing move that we're only going to see for like a month.
The full Nelson Slam. That's right. Man.
Better than the splash.
Yeah, it is better than the Big Belly Splash.
But that was impressive.
Yeah. Mark, your thoughts real quick?
Yeah, the announcers keep mentioning about how they were former Wyatt family members. Something's obviously up. So, yeah, I think either we're going to get an entire family reunion, or we might even get more of the family being added.
That's what I'm hoping.
The only other thought I have...
Sister Abigail.
Yeah, we need a Sister Abigail.
No, there have been pictures on certain places of Bray Wyatt and his actual sister, like him and Bo's actual sister, who's currently training to become a wrestler. They could bring it. That would be the perfect segue to bring Bo in there, and then the sister. Then they're an actual family.
As long as they leave out the blood family part.
Yeah, and I'm with David. Like that's been my thing since day one. When they bring Bo in, it needs to be because Bo is lost and needs to be found, and Bray Wyatt is his savior. Like,
well, they ruined that in NXT when they brought up they were brothers.
They did, but you can ignore all that. Like, you don't have to go back to that.
You could mention it in passing, but don't rub it in our face.
Yeah.
It goes back to our statement of the smart fan. Those who actually follow everything, who already know. While the only people who won't are those casual fans.
They can still give it to us, but give it to us under the table. You know what I mean? And that's what they're doing when they put them together. Because they're acknowledging, hey, we know that they're family, so here they are. Because they're not going to put them against each other. They're not going to do that. So, and you know what? Bo Dallas doesn't have anything to do. So, please do something with Bo. Please. That's my thought on it. Mark, what do we got next?
Next up, we have the U.S. Champions Open Invitational, which is answered this week by none other than Neville.
I don't know why, but me and David have thought for like every single week that Neville has wrestled John Cena before, and apparently he hasn't. But he did now, so we can't say that he hasn't anymore.
Why do they keep putting all these nicknames to Neville? Seriously.
Yeah, the man that gravity forgot is fine with me. That's pretty catchy.
Yeah, I like that.
But the new sensation, I'm like,
Yeah,
why?
yeah, I don't get it either.
That well, consider the source of who said it, and
It sounds like a ringleader. You know what I mean? It sounds like Aiden English coming out. They're like, step right up. That's what it feels like when Neville's coming out.
If they bring up the Vaudevillains, I'm gonna have the greatest time of my life.
Well, who knows what they're doing?
all
'cause
good time.
I haven't seen them in a couple of months, so who knows?
True.
TJ.
Oh, I was just about to ask, can I take this? Once again, this was surprisingly the match of the night for me. Once again, Cena show and prove that, yeah, he's had all that whatever with the world title, but when he was United States champion all those other times, the title meant something. I'm not saying it didn't mean anything with the other people who held it before or after him, but with him, it's like he gave it like a special purpose. And now with this open invitational, I dare say it, Cena's showing he can actually wrestle, that he doesn't suck.
Oh, I'll go a step further for you. Everybody that says Cena buries everybody. Neville had Cena bent. He let him hit him with the red arrow. And
Man, you even heard before they went to commercial, he was like, good job, kid. I was like, okay, in WWE's eyes, if Cena says you're doing a good job, you're going to get led up to something huge in your future.
But I'll go a step further. Whenever Rusev did interfere, normally Super Cena would hop back up or roll out of the ring and just, let the next part go on. Cena laid there. He sold that red arrow for another 5 or 10 seconds. And that to me spoke volumes about how much respect he has for Neville. And the future is bright for that kid, so bright. And this was again match of the night, U.S. Championship. I never thought I'd say it, guys. I keep saying it, but I look forward to John Cena's segment every single week now, and that's pretty awesome.
So long as this invitation goes on, even if he loses the title, I would love for this segment to continue, but yeah. I think it works best if Cena's the man with that U.S. title.
I do too.
Yeah, like you said, Anthony, the whole thing with him and Neville, this was their way of showcasing all of Neville's skills. Only thing they didn't do was his reverse Hurricane Rana or his reverse 450, his imploding 450. Yeah. That would have been awesome.
Mark, your thoughts?
I'm going to take it a step further than Anthony did.
Wow.
Oh, God.
I want the U.S. Invitational to be the main event.
That's not going to happen anytime soon.
It's not going to happen, but God, I want it to, because that's my biggest...
No. I personally don't want it main event. Make it the thing before the main event. That'll be perfect.
I want the main event to stop being a 20-minute waste of my life for a DQ, but I'll get into that at the end.
Either that or the opening segment. I could handle the U.S. challenge being the opening segment instead of having the promo at the beginning.
I'm with that too.
Set the tone for the show.
I say that. Let's just have Cena make this a usual thing on every brand, not just Raw, so we can have matches against Raw superstars, SmackDown, and NXT superstars. That's what we need.
You guys are realizing that we're asking the star of the company to work a lot of days, right?
He's done it before.
They were going to do that with Daniel Bryan, and he actually had one invitation open challenge on SmackDown before he got injured. Yeah. So that's what their plan was going to do, is have one belt on one show and the open invitation of the other belt on the other show. But obviously, with injury, that's no longer a case.
We'll find out what they're doing with the Intercontinental title after Elimination Chamber.
Got a couple weeks, and we'll know exactly what's going on.
Yeah, by the way,
we could all sit here speculating after that.
By the way, we're going to have about 3 pay-per-views in a span of about 6 weeks, which is insanity. I don't know what they're thinking, but Okay.
We got Payback, we got Elimination Chamber, and then we have NXT Takeover.
I think Money in the Bank. No, Money in the Bank's following it, coming up in 2 more weeks after that.
Seriously?
Yeah, after Elimination Chamber.
Oh
we got
man,
we got the
this
June
might
one.
be a new segue into Money in the Bank.
Yeah, I think so, man. I think it might be. I'll have to go back and check my dates, but I do know that the pay-per-view 2 weeks after Elimination Chamber.
And yeah, but Money in the Bank is usually the July one,
Yeah,
right before the SummerSlam in August.
yeah. So we'll see. Mark.
All
hold
right.
on, David. Anything you'd like to add to this segment real quick?
You're making me do this again, aren't you?
Yeah.
All right, for the second week in a row, as much as I hate it, good job, John Cena. You're kind of giving the new talent some good looks, having hella matches. I'm happy I didn't have to see a stunner, or hopefully I blinked at that part.
No, it wasn't there. He didn't do
Okay, I
it.
didn't get one this week. Good, I'm happy
Because
with
he
that.
realized how messed up it would have been against Neville.
Right. Even though if Neville would have tried that red arrow and then caught him with it out of that red arrow somehow, that would have been kind of sweet.
That would have been weird.
It would have
He's
been.
not Randy Orton.
Hey, no, he is John Cena. That's true.
But as far as that goes, Neville, I've been...
Thunder into the German suplex or something.
I was waiting on him to turn the red arrow into an AA and just stand up with him on his shoulders.
Yeah, I was waiting for him to catch him
No,
in
that's
midair.
impossible. That's impossible, even for him.
I don't know. Cesaro.
If they're going to let someone do it, it's going to be Cena.
No,
But
Cesaro.
physics is gonna say no.
We'll get into Cesaro in a minute. Now they've gotten to Cesaro when they'll tell Benin, hey, look, just throw yourself in the air. He'll catch it. No problem.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, Mark. What do we got next?
Next is the Kane versus Roman Reigns match that never happened because they attacked each other on the outside, leading into Kane being speared onto the announcer table.
How bad was this segment, guys? How awful was this segment? TJ, I'll start with you.
This is 3 things that's gonna appear on Botchamania. You had Kane botch a uppercut, you had Roman botch the Superman punch, and you had the table botch breaking.
Yeah.
This is going to be a great episode of Botchamania.
No, it's the ending. The part that gets me is the ending. The way Roman sells it. By just standing on the table and celebrating like you did something, like that's over.
He's looking like the table is my partner.
Yeah, oh my god. Oh, that whole thing was so bad. David, your thoughts?
I just really have one word. Wrong man.
And I got news for you guys because this match didn't happen on Monday night.
We're going to get it this week.
We're getting it on SmackDown.
That's
It's
right,
there.
we do.
It's there,
That's
one-on-one.
what table match and me through of it.
Yeah, really. And they might actually break it this time. Mark, any thoughts?
I knew this was the feud coming up, and it's about as bad as Big Show Roman.
About as
I
bad?
don't know. That's pretty bad. It
That's
could be
that's
just
why
a tier under that.
That's why I said about as bad.
Only because we haven't had it 40,000 times yet.
Well, that and I think Kane could work better with Roman than Big Show could.
Of
Yeah,
course,
he's
'cause
slightly
Big Show
better than
lumber
Big Show still.
tackle blah.
Yeah, Big Show could work better with an oak tree. So, that doesn't say much.
Really, Anthony?
I'm sorry, I don't know. I mean, what are you going to do with the Big Show, really, honestly?
You just abuse nature. Don't be surprised if Captain Planet comes for you.
I can see Big Show trying to, do a world, the punch. Trying to knock the tree over. Epically
And then
failing.
the branch ricochets back in his face.
That would be amazing.
That would be hilarious.
Mark, what do we got next?
So the next segment is the saddest segment of the night.
Can we skip this so we don't cry?
Yes. Yes.
So
Shut up!
again, he has
David is not allowed to talk in this segment. You're done, David. That's it. You're on punishment.
No. No. No.
so
David,
again,
go outside. You've lost your spot on the round table.
Alright.
So once again, Daniel Bryan has to relinquish a title.
I've seen this before.
They're right around this time last year.
Yeah, like 1 year ago to this day,
It's
actually.
literally 1 year ago.
Guys, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. in the words of Wayne Barrett, I'm afraid I got some bad news.
Have a horrible accent.
You know what? I know David hates this Yes Movement, and he always has, but you know what? The Yes Movement is one of the real, genuine things that we get in wrestling where the entire crowd takes over and they're involved in it. I don't want that to go away, but at the same time, I gotta kind of blame Daniel Bryan here for not having this surgery earlier, not having it taken care of, and then doing all those risks with his neck. He really worried me when he said that there's a good chance he may never wrestle again. That's not something you expect to say in a promo. I think he really might be done, guys. TJ, any thoughts?
I'm just gonna say one thing, and it goes to what you said about the whole Neville wrestle again. A friend of mine sent me a picture, and it pretty much sold the whole point. It was Daniel Bryan and Edge with the same speech that Edge did, side to side, and we knew how Edge turned up, and like it or not, this may be the end of Daniel Bryan. This may be the end of Bryan Danielson. This may just be the end.
Mark?
And I don't think anyone really wants this. You know, especially he doesn't. As fans, we don't, but we realize if he does retire, he's done a job well done, and we can say nothing but thank you.
Yeah. Mark?
To the point of the Edge thing, I actually saw it, and it went even to the point where Daniel Bryan and Edge both said no thank you to the crowd. That leads me to believe that it might actually not be the end. I think that Daniel Bryan probably knew that speech, and it might have even been some coaching from Triple H and or Vince. And I think that he's not ending, but I do think it's probably going to be another 9 months before we see him. Maybe even after WrestleMania 32.
I'll save it for the Royal Rumble and have him win it if I'm going to keep him out that long. David, I know you've been waiting. Go ahead.
All right,
Main channel.
here we go.
We're wounded here.
So, honestly, I know I bag on Daniel Bryan a lot and the whole Yes movement, but I'm going to give it up to him. He's been pretty entertaining over the last year in his run, a little bit before that even, with the Team Hell No and all. I joke around, I kid a lot. I'm a pretty avid Yes movement hater, but I'll give it up to him. He was good, and hopefully I would not complain if I get to see him again in the future. I will still rag on him as much as I do now, but thank you, Daniel. It's been fun watching you get yourself better, and hope to see you again.
If you don't give it up to Daniel Bryan, you better give it up to Bryan Danielson.
Damn right.
I give it up to every persona he's ever used. He has
Even
been
American
extremely
Dragon?
entertaining, but the way he took out my buddy Triple H and my Authority friends, screw you, Daniel.
Long live the Authority, huh? Oh, man.
It's the evolution of
Well,
the Authority.
I don't know. I want Daniel back. Whenever it takes to get him back, just don't rush it back, man. Just
Take your time,
take
get
your
things
time,
right.
get right, and then wrestle smart when you get back. That's
Even if he doesn't come back as a wrestler, could you imagine the Authority gone and we need a new person of power and he takes over?
that's the thing about Daniel Bryan is he's so over that I feel like you gotta have a role for him. Even if he's not an active wrestler like Austin wasn't for that 9 months, they still had a role for Austin. You gotta do
Yeah,
that.
make him commissioner like they did with William Regal.
Yeah, it would work. We'll move on from this sad saga.
Well, it doesn't get much better because we have his wife actually come out. Brie Bella comes out versus Tamina Snuka.
Well, this isn't too sad. It was kind of expected. Pretty quick match. There isn't really much we can say about it. They're setting up for the Naomi title run here. And the Brie Bellas are going to be the chasers now. The Bellas are the faces, and the Snuggers are the heels, and Tamina makes her return with a win. Pretty nice over Brie. I got really nothing to add, David. I'll let you, anything you want to put on this?
Well, not much could be said, really. You know, we have the jobbers of the jobber of the Diva division as Brie Bella, just dropping a match like she always does.
There you go. Mark.
Yeah, not much. Yeah, we had the surprising face turn of the Bellas just kind of overnight, really. Ever since they got attacked,
It was out of nowhere, if you will.
Bad storytelling, 101.
No, I don't necessarily put that on creative. I just think that
It was at the wrong time.
You can't, it's an insult to my intelligence to have one attack take 11 months of something and make me forget it. Like, all of a sudden, because they got beat up one time, I'm supposed to cheer for them now? Like, seriously?
Well, they always had their cheerers. Those most of the little girls actually do like Nikki and Brie, even when they were heels. If you follow them on Twitter and stuff.
I don't.
Okay, so yeah, it's the adult males who were actually for the AJs and for the Paiges and for the Natalias and things like that. Nikki and
It's like this. It's like this. If you're a kid or a preteen, you look at the divas like, oh, we don't look at you because you can wrestle. We look at you because of your breasts. But when you're an actual adult fan and you actually follow wrestling, you're like, oh, you can actually wrestle and not just flaunt what looks you have. You're good in my book.
I'll be honest.
That's why we don't say that to the Bellas.
I'll be honest. I didn't notice Nikki until she got wrist. So.
Well, no one did, because that's why no one really considers them twins anymore. They did.
They can't pull off twin magic anymore because all you got to do is, hey, get your D's out of here, bring A's back in.
Yeah, exactly.
That was not cool.
Ding your way out. All right.
All right, so next up we have Anthony's favorite segment of the night. We have Axelmania coming out.
Nope.
Followed by the Macho Mandow.
Nope, because I want to keep this a rated PG show.
Oh, yeah, brother.
I am not going to comment on this piece of crap travesty that happened.
I did it for Cena. You got to do it for Daniel Bryan.
They took the 4 worst characters on the entire freaking roster, and they decided to put them in a segment together by having the Mega Powers 2.0 get jumped by the Ascension. And that's when they decided that if they put their powers together, they'll be unstoppable. And now, we're going to have a cheap imitation of Hulk Hogan and Macho Man. Newsflash, I hated the original copy. I'm damn sure going to hate the ripoff. They've taken Axel, who I love. They've taken Sandow, who I love. And they've made me hate them in a matter of 3 minutes. I hate them. Hate them.
So can I continue on this?
Yes.
Hold on, let me clear my throat for this. Oh, yeah. It's about time you get down with the Macho Madness, Anthony. Dig it.
No, I can't. I can't.
Well, let me tell you something then, brother.
I'll tell you this.
You will love the Axelmania and Mandow.
I feel this is going to really hurt.
Officially Mega Powers 3.0.
This is going to hurt our ratings probably, but Macho Man, rest in peace, was never one of my favorite wrestlers, and I may or may not have put up a meme on the day of his passing. So
Dude, that's not cool.
I am not known in the Macho Man circle as being accepted, okay? So I didn't expect that the Mandow lovers would want me in anyway, but I promise you, I will not be wanting in their party anyway. I'm out. I'm not getting on this bandwagon. No, they can get the tag team titles and I will still crap on them.
Well, I guess I'm going to go ahead and welcome you over to the Wastelands then, Anthony.
Oh, no.
Welcome.
No.
Welcome.
No, not the Wastelands. We're welcoming him to the Dark City. We're part of the old Ascension.
How ironic is it that they call it the Wasteland? Because that's what this segment was. This segment was the Wastelands for me.
And if
It sets up a good pre-show.
No, it
No,
really doesn't.
Not even that. Not
It
even
might
that.
give someone
If
some
you-
credit. No
There's
credibility.
finally a match on the pre-show that I know I don't have to worry about missing. Like, I can miss it, and I'm okay. Mark.
You know what the worst part about all this is?
Yeah, what's that?
If you see Ascension's like page on like Wikipedia or whatever, apparently they have 2 new finishers that they've added on house shows that both are better than the Fall of Man.
Well,
They need that.
that's easy because every finisher in the world is better than the Fall of Man.
As big
They
of an
have one
Ascension
called
fans, I
I
agree.
Justice, which is pretty much Axe and Smash's move.
Yeah. Well, of course they're gonna steal something from other tag teams. That's what they do.
And then they have another one, I forget what it's called, but it's actually somewhat original, where it's a full Nelson slam into a European uppercut to the back of the neck.
Because the full Nelson Slam is everybody's new move now, I guess.
In the
only
tag
person
team
who
division,
did it
yes.
The only person who did it different was Damien because he fell with it.
Yeah, true. Mark, thoughts?
I think we should just segue to the next thing.
Oh, that's what I was gonna do. I wasn't gonna mention anything else.
Alright, roll with it.
Yeah.
Folks, if you want more in this segment, you might want to find a new podcast.
So next up we have Big E versus Cesaro.
Can we skip this segment too?
You know what? I want to, but I'm not going to because this match entertained the hell out of me. Because they are very physical. And like I said, Cesaro catching Big E in a crossbody block and not budging, like not even moving his back. That was incredible. Cesaro's strength is ridiculous. Big
And the
E.
worst part is that's legitimate. That's just not a show. That's legitimate strength.
Exactly, but here's the best part of that. You know how many weeks in a row the New Day has won by dirty tactics? This week they tried it yet again and it backfired. I like it when that happens. I like it when every now and then we get the babyface getting that little clean, ha, I got you. Cesaro got it this week. It was a good payoff. I still don't think they're winning the tag titles. It's gonna stay with the New Day until the Wyatt come along.
Elimination.
Mark?
I actually think the Cesaro and Tyson Kidd might take it back.
Wow.
If they are going to do the triple threat at Elimination Chamber, then I don't think it really matters who has the titles, and it would actually allow it to continue into, so it would allow it to continue, but never mind, I'm not going to give WWE that much credit. They'll probably just add Cesaro and Kidd into it anyway.
Yeah, I would actually have the New Day win it if they were going to lose it, because I would have them win it here and lose at the Elimination Chamber, because then they could talk about how negativity of all the other teams, took them down and blah, blah, blah.
Well, see, I was...
But I'm sorry. At this point, you can already tell this is going to be a different Elimination Chamber. It's going to have like 4 teams. Like, they're going to start Fatal 4-Way and the other teammates are in the pod. You already know you're going to have the New Day in there. You're going to have Kidd and Cesaro. You're going to have the Ascension. And not to the 10, if not Harper and Rowan, you're going to have the primetime players.
Well, I think that Harper and Rowan are going to be in it.
Yeah.
And then the primetime players and maybe...
We got a little spot here to do on PTP in a minute here.
We're at them almost. Mark, roll with it. TJ, anything you want to add real quick?
I just added what I wanted to add.
Alright, we're good.
Alrighty, so the primetime player cuts a promo on the New Age Outlaws. As we mentioned earlier, teased about wanting to do another return. I said another return because they've already returned.
Like 7 times?
Yeah.
One time led them to another tag team title. This one could be the same.
Every time I hear that they want to come back, like, I just wish I could sneak into Snapper's office and play that whole entire TNA segment of VKM where they just blatantly blast everything about the WWE and they're trying to break into the office and blah, blah, blah. Like, is that forgotten? Like, because I know I heard them say they're not interested in any talent ever from TNA, But they sure as hell shoved Billy Gunn and Road Dogg down our throats.
But in
Oh,
fairness, they were main staples of the Attitude Era
Okay,
before they jumped ship.
They were, but they left on some really bad terms. And
it's funny how your comment just shows how hypocritical WWE is.
Exactly.
Around that time, they were like, "Oh, we're not getting anyone from TNA." You got CM Punk, who did work for TNA. You had Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin on Velocity at least once. Same with Christopher Daniels, Low Key, Samoa Joe, who were all signed with TNA at the time.
I would agree with that, but I think my bigger complaint would be every member in the clique that ever wanted to come back, they were allowed to come back.
Ever since my friend Triple H has become COO, we've seen them all.
It doesn't matter. If they were in TNA and they were in the clique, they were welcome back with
If
open
it's
doors.
Click or DX, you have an open door to come in anytime.
And I don't like that.
You need a paycheck, hey, come on, pick one up quick.
And I don't like that.
Or if you're Ric Flair, or if
they're
you're
gonna have the Elimination Chamber for the IC title. They're gonna put X-Pac in there to win it.
That would be awesome, but I would hope.
Well, I think that's just way far-fetched because he drank and smoked way too much
Yeah,
anymore.
he ain't gonna pass the drug test.
No, I'm sorry, Sean, you're a good guy, but
he stopped that during his run in Chikara. He did pretty well there. I mean, we saw X Factor off the top rope.
Yeah,
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I promise he's kind now because I saw him the other day in a video.
yeah, he wasn't looking too straight and narrow.
Yeah, he's hot.
I think we'd have a better chance of seeing a better match with Scott Hall coming back than Mr. Waltman
But
right
not
now.
only that, he's not allowed to wrestle.
Not Scott. Let's get his son from New Japan, Cody.
Yeah, I like
Let's just give that a little bit of time. There might be something to that down the road here.
Cody's developing nicely over there. Mark, we'll go ahead and move on.
So next up, we have the Bray Wyatt promo talking about how the world has full of problems, but sometimes little kitties, the bad guy actually wins.
It was a long, twisted promo. Like, I was glad that he finally got back to speaking his propaganda, even if I have no idea what the hell he's talking about, because he's just not talking about his opponent. I like the part at the end about the bad guy does win, because he is going to win. He's going to kill Ryback. Other than that, though, Ryback came out and killed him. Hit him with a spine buster. Bray laughed, which, that's Bray, just being Bray. Other than that, I was just glad to see Bray cut a decent promo again. David, I know this is your boy. How'd you feel about the Eater of Worlds?
Absolutely loved the whole segment. It was great to see him actually come out to the ring and do the promo, not just the behind-the-scene promo. That was really nice. I love how he actually spoke directly to the crowd. Let me tell you folks here something, he goes. And he goes on about the bad guy winning. Might have ruined some people's cornflakes and all, but Bray Wyatt, he says what he wants. He backs it up. He is the face of fear.
TJ.
Pretty much everything David said, but I'm adding follow the buzzards because the buzzards never left.
They didn't. They're back. The Buzzards are coming back, actually. They're on the way back.
The buzzards are circling, and there are a few folks walking to them now.
All right.
They're circling the.
Mark, thoughts?
I love the promo, and I'm with Anthony. I'm glad he got back to his message to the world. I'm just waiting for some reincarnations of some of the FCW Down with the Machine. And heard some rumors that they want to turn him face, but they might be doing it in a few months.
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to do that with the Wyatts attacking everybody every week.
Just turn him tweener and leave him like that.
That's what I would do with all of them. Like, none of them would have a role. They would just be who they are.
They would just be neutral.
Yeah.
If they go after the Authority, then that's how you turn them face.
But that's why I would keep them neutral, because it allows you to do anything with them at any time.
Yeah.
At any moment, they could have a problem with a good guy or a bad guy.
So this is the perfect way to keep them tweener. 1 week they save Seth from losing the title, that makes them heel. 2 weeks time, Bray Wyatt beats Seth to earn a shot at the title, that makes them face or whatever.
I don't know. That might mean I think the crowd would still buy into him too much that way. I know one thing though. I'm ready to see it play out. Like the slow burn. We gotta get it burning here.
The wick needs to start going a little bit faster.
I've seen that girl with a whole "It's coming on her stomach" promo about 40,000 times. I want to see what the hell's coming. Actually,
it's Sister Abigail.
Yeah,
it's Stephanie McMahon. Damn it.
Hey.
What if she is Sister Abigail?
What if she is? Oh my God, y'all are hurting my head. All right,
Daphne in there.
Mark.
All right. So next up is the main event: Randy Orton versus Seth Rollins.
All right, there isn't enough hour, and thank God we're at the end of the podcast, so I don't gotta go too much into this. I complained earlier in the night about how long some of these matches were. 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 36 seconds. This match was 17 minutes. And it ended with J&J jumping in the ring. Why the hell did you waste 17 minutes of my life? They could have done that in any other segment and made it last 3 minutes. But it's lazy looking. You give it to me as my main fucking event. I'm sick of it, dude. I'm so freaking sick of it. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. I gave Raw a solid B plus until this main event, and I'm dropping it to a B minus because this crap. I'm so tired of it. David, anything to add?
Oh God. Typical main event. I was with you. I was giving it a nice B plus until they gave us the same ending we always get. I did love the twist where Kane could have helped Seth, yet he stood there with the chair and let him take every person's finisher.
And that's great, but we know how this formula works in wrestling. We know that on the Go Show, whoever looks like crap is going over, and whoever looks like great is going to go down. So Dean is obviously going to be the fall guy, and Seth is going to sneak out with the belt, and it's going to be the same song and dance. It's so annoying.
Maybe that leads us to a nice Elimination Chamber championship match.
That'll be fine, but stop giving me shitty Raw main events.
Well, I don't think we're ever going to see that until a certain COO takes over the show.
I don't know if he's not partly to blame, man. I really don't. We'll just see in time, I guess.
We'll find out.
TJ, thoughts on this main event?
Let's see. What's a good way? Because I already paid homage to Macho Man. I know. Let me pay homage to Sean O'Haire. I would say that this match was good, but it was what we thought. But hey, I'm not telling you anything you don't already know.
Wow. I bet there's going to be like 2 people that get that. And I'm one of them. That's awesome.
If you don't get that, you need to stop listening to my segments. But in all seriousness, I like the fact that, yeah, we all know Dean's probably going to be the fall guy or the guy that screwed out the belt in some way. But it was good to at least showcase, like, hey, he is potential threat. So in the long run, here's what I'm seeing for Elimination Chamber. If Seth somehow succeeds in retaining, you have Seth, Randy, Roman, Dean. You know, because of all this, they're going to have Kane involved, and then you have a battle royale to see who gets the last spot.
I'll tell you this right now. If they were not in Cincinnati, Ohio, Dean Ambrose isn't into that show. Bottom line. He is not into that show hitting that move on Roman. Because they were in Cincinnati, they gave him that moment, and I was glad they gave the crowd that moment. Because he was easily the guy they paid to see last night.
How much you want to if they were in Pensacola, Florida, they would have let Roman hit the spear on Dean?
Yeah, I bet they would have. In a heartbeat.
And if St. Louis, we're seeing RKO City.
Yep. Either way.
And in Iowa, we're seeing weird DDTs everywhere.
No, because we did see Seth go down last week at the end in Iowa.
Well,
Seth was laid out last week too.
well, yeah, but they're doing that because they know that Seth is coming out on top in the end. So,
It's what's best for business. Come on, buy in.
all right, David, thoughts on? And you've already covered it. Mark, you got anything to add on the main event?
I told you my main event. It was John Cena versus Adrian Neville.
Yeah, okay. And you got anything on the Raw main event?
Yeah, I'm with y'all. I'm glad they let Dean have a spot, and I'm just waiting for a Dean versus Seth Rollins actual feud for the title. I'm thinking maybe, hopefully, Randy somehow just stays away from the WWE Championship so we can get the triple threat that we want. And maybe with the Intercontinental title being up for grabs, maybe Randy goes for the Intercontinental. I mean, Cena's done a lot with the U.S. title, so, I mean, they wanted to put it back into prestige. So
I like that.
It's a good idea.
put it on Randy.
And put him on SmackDown.
Yeah, he'll be in SmackDown. Randy loves me in the SmackDown guy. That's what he does.
Yeah, we're going
That's
to
weird.
Neville versus Orton. Oh, look, Neville's going for the imploding 450. RKO out of nowhere.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That could be some very interesting match.
Hey, Evan Warren 2.0.
He's
I
leagues
still was
above
waiting for my
Evan.
450 RKO.
It's coming. You never know.
We might even see a red arrowed RKO.
Exactly.
I could see him
Allow
nailing the
okay,
RKO.
man, this will allow RKO. Not an attitude adjustment, but it would allow RKO.
Yeah, that'd be a little bit easier of a transition in the moves.
Yeah. TJ, I'll let you go ahead and grade it real quick.
The only saving grace of all this, besides Dean getting his just desserts at home, was the open challenge. For me, this show gets a solid B-. But as I said before, you already knew that.
Mark?
I'm going to go with a B. Just a normal, straight up, standard, unoriginal B.
So
It's B for Bella.
Mark said the word unoriginal, standard, and he gave it the highest grade of anybody on the show.
Well, that's just because I was going to give it a B-, but all y'all gave it a B-, so I figured I'd be different.
So you want to give them a little more credit than they actually deserve.
I'm giving John Cena more credit than he deserves, okay?
Yeah, well, I mean, you know. It isn't
Mark-
like... It
Mark
isn't
wants
like
to start
John...
his hipster gimmick.
It isn't like John Cena needs any more credit, okay? He gets plenty. Stupid ass John Cena. Anyway,
Don't get me started. I've been being nice to him.
I know.
I've been being nice to him. Don't get me
Broadcast
started.
anymore. This is just a Cena cast.
Alright, guys, well, coming up on the weekend here, we are going to preview Payback, and along with NXT, we're going to get both of them in on the same broadcast, giving the rundown on both cards, and hopefully after Payback, we're going to bring you a live show here and get you followed in on anything that may or may not shock us for the night. Anybody got any final thoughts? TJ, I'll go to you first.
Let's see. Final thoughts. Watch NXT because that is where it's at. NXT, if you're hearing this, hashtag push Solomon Crow. Hashtag Chromo Sapien.
Yeah, he lost in about 3.5 minutes tonight, actually.
Wait, he was in a match tonight?
Yeah, he fought,
Started the show.
fought Baron
Against who?
Corbin.
Oh,
Yeah, he
no,
went.
don't feed him to Corbin for this Rhino thing.
Oh,
No.
yeah,
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
that's what happened. Yep.
Burying some. You know what? Still
Woosah.
watch NXT because you're gonna get a actual women's wrestling match,
Yep.
not a women's fashion show.
Mark, final thoughts.
I think that NXT Unstoppable is going to be better than Payback.
Hashtag NBexT.
Mark, David.
I'm going to have to go ahead and agree with Mark. It is going to be the better of the first two pay-per-views. Elimination Chamber may surprise us.
I think it will.
But, yeah,
Here's how
final
it's
thought,
played.
I'm going to go Springer style. Take care of yourself and each other.
Nice. My final thought is simply this. I think I added it a while ago. Stop giving me fucking main events that suck. Just stop.
Thank you and good night.
That's all. For David, for TJ, for Mark, and Anthony. We'll be back here.
Invitational Cena versus Solomon. Make it happen.
We'll see you on the flip side.